3, 2, 1.
Who here, let me ask you this. Have you done more than 5 open houses? Yeah. Okay. All right. So little experience and then some new. All right. So phase 1 is strategic preparation. And it's really important to start marketing your property before the doors even open. At least I would say 3 to 5 days before. I usually on average though do about 3 days before. Because if you do too soon, people see it and then they forget about it. So let's go to, okay. And hopefully I don't jump around too much. But oh, I forgot the flags. So I put driveway flags at the front of the driveway, 1 on each side. And I'm sure you guys know the flags that I'm talking about. The big, no? Okay, you can buy them on Amazon. Yep, it's like a big it's like a curve and it's red and black and it says open house or agent inside, whatever. I put 1 on each side at the end of the driveway, plus my sign too, pointing the directional sign. And we'll go over signage and all that too. And I'm also going to go over marketing the property as well too. But so that's that. And then with the signs, directional signs at every neighborhood entrance. So I have seen agents get kind of lazy with this. And it's really important, if there is more than 1 entrance, you have to put signs at both entrances. And not just 1 sign, multiple signs. So the most successful open houses have, I would say, hey, how's it going? I think John likes to say about 20 signs. I brought 2 of my signs just to show you what they look like, but I have a ton of signs. And on like the main roads, I put signs about every maybe 4 feet or so, maybe 5 feet, sorry, I can't see, about this far apart, and about 4 going down the road, 4 or 5, okay? And then you can also I use these, or you could do balloons, just something to draw the attention. And then you want those on both sides of the street too. So let's say we're talking about like Beach Boulevard, right? So you're gonna have them on one side, or well, if it's Beach Boulevard, you're just gonna do it right there at the intersection. But if it's like Hodges Boulevard, you're gonna do 1 on each side of the road. Does that make sense?
Could you maybe afterwards send like a link for anything, like those extras that you do, open house signs, like where you got it from?
Yes. I honestly don't remember. I'm going to have to look that up and get back to you about that because I do not remember. I ordered these online from somewhere. So I'll have to let you know where I got this from. Hey, Luke.
Hello.
But I do get the open house, the flags from Amazon. Yeah.
I recently ordered 10 double-sided signs.
Hello.
Hello.
Good. How are you? Okay. And then entry presentation. So I always get compliments on this, and I get a lot of my marketing materials on Etsy. This is a front door mat that I use.
Is that your Realtor? Is that your house all the time?
Yes, it is.
Love it.
So anyway, I got this on Etsy. Yeah, so just little things, right? Oh. So I do that, and then also I got these on Etsy, which are cookie bags. And it says it would be a real treat to be your real estate agent, and it has my info on there. So that's fun. And then I also just put out some promo stuff, like I have koozies, I have some little chapstick things, you know, that kind of stuff. And then these go on water bottles, and you can put your business card in there. And I also got this on Etsy too. Okay. And then also inside, you could set up, like I have a seller's guide, buyer's guide. This is old. But you could put your guides out too. Okay. And then refreshments. I always do these Callaway blue just because I like the blue and I like the bottles. I think they're cute. Hey. And then I put these on them. And I don't go overboard with treats. So sometimes I'll grab just like snacks, like bagged chips or something, because then I can reuse them. Because I have learned if I go out and buy like platters from Publix or whatever, nobody touches it. And then I waste some money on it. Or if it's like a bunch of cookies and stuff, it just goes home to my kids. So sometimes I'll just do a little bit of cookies and put them in there with the waters. Okay. And then leisure reads. So I know John would use his time at an open house to make calls. I don't do that just because I get like, if I'm on the phone and then somebody walks in, I'm like, ah. So I use my time to just work or read a book. So right now I'm actually reading Speak Easy, and I highly recommend it. I think it's a great book. Also, The Success Principles is really good. And I have a really good list. If you guys are readers and you're interested in my book list, I'm happy to send that out to you. Okay. And then listing packets. So of course you want to have the MLS sheets, comp sheets, or at least just know the comps in the area, and an RPR neighborhood report or list reports. Is anybody familiar with list reports? Yeah. Okay. So I love list reports because they make some really nice brochures. No. So it's listreports.com. And also too, they make some riders that go on my for sale signs, and it has like a 1-800 number that you can text, and then it also pulls up all this information. So it's pretty cool. I think you have to partner with the lender on it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have similar flyers. I mean, those are much nicer than the ones I use, but
Yeah. And the thing that's really cool about this one, so like this is fine, like, you know, this, you can easily create an open house flyer that looks like this, but this is what I love on the back. So this has all of the information about the surrounding area. And then you can also make, if you wanted to print this out and make it bigger, like the schools in your area or the great outdoors or whatever, you could print those out and put them in the clear sign holders around the home if you wanted to.
What was the website again?
What's that?
What was the website again?
List reports. List, L-I-S-T, reports.com. Yeah. And if you guys want to pass this around, you can check it out.
You get that from your mortgage guy?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You get it. You can do it
It's
too.
automated. Like if you have a mortgage partner, they'll send you all of that.
So that one, the list reports, no. Like I have to go in and upload all of the property information for that. But I use, there's another one that's like an automated valuation report that you might be thinking of. HomeBot. That's who I use for that. And that's also another lender partnered thing. And that's sent out automatically. So that's a really good thing.
I get the email. So they go, you have the listing. Here's 33 pieces of marketing your lender sent you.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. It might, maybe yours is like maybe yours is automatically populating it somehow. I will have to look into that. Because mine's not.
Usually it's not right.
Okay.
You know, it's a
Yeah.
TV.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So that's that. And then listing disclosures, obviously I put on here, put physical copies of the seller's disclosure and survey, but I don't actually give those out to the buyers because I want to get their contact information. So I'm like, hey, I can send you this in your email. Just make sure that, you know, obviously I have your email. And then neighborhood rules. Be familiar with the local HOA regulations. And feedback tracking. So I'm going to go over more about signing in and getting feedback, but especially if you're holding open houses for other agents, it is so critical to get good feedback and then provide that to the agent too that you're holding the open house for, okay? All right, so the high impact prep mix, hyper local marketing. So we're not just going to post it on the MLS. We're going to use a ton of signage. Like I said, you can never have too many, and run targeted social media event ads 3 days prior. So you want to create a Facebook event. And if you are able to get onto some neighborhood pages, that's great. I've tried to get onto some and they're like, oh, do you live in the neighborhood? So sometimes you just can't get onto them, which is fine. But if you can, that's great. And then send a just listed / open house email to your database. So does everybody here use a CRM? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I just send that out to you beforehand. And then a neighbor preview. I was really good about doing this when I first got into the business and had more time. I need to get back into it, but I will say, when you door knock the neighborhood before, it does provide good results. I still have people in my CRM from years ago just from door knocking, and I still talk to them. So it's good. So we recommend to door knock the neighbors, 4 on each side and 8 across the street. And then, of course, if there's a connected cul-de-sac, to do that too. Okay. Has anybody here door knocked before an open house? Yeah. Did you guys, what were your results like?
It was good. A lot of neighbors were curious with open house. We just came in and kind of like saw the property.
Nice. Okay. Oh, that's the microphone.
Oh, I like what I usually handing a spatula. I'm like, what the heck? I like carry this for.
Awesome. All right, Luke, do you want to share your experience?
I can share a little bit about door knocking at open houses.
Mhm.
I think if you get there early enough and you can build some hype around the neighborhood, and what I've typically have just said is, you want to help pick your neighbor. You know, if you're curious about your value, I know I'd like to pick some of my neighbors and make some sort of joke about
Yep.
good fences and good neighbors, or whatever, and then try to drum up business. And just, if they have a real estate relationship, just explain to them that I'm the only guy in their neighborhood out here trying to build value. So in the event that maybe they might do the same, maybe they consider me, or, if their agent's busy, maybe on a one-off shoot, just try to build a relationship, and leads turn into clients and clients into advocates, ideally.
Yep. Awesome.
I haven't had a ton of success door knocking for open houses, but I used to do it a lot for my first team when I first joined real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good that the seller could see that we were working really hard to try and get as many people out there. So in that aspect, it was great. The sellers loved it, but I'm just not good at converting when I'm door knocking. So
Yeah. Awesome. So I will say, when I first got into the business, I felt like I did not know what I was talking about, what I was doing. I was super nervous, And since then, I have noticed a higher conversion since I've just kind of chilled out, basically. When you're talking to people, especially at open houses too, just being way more relaxed and just building a relationship with them instead of being commission hungry, being like, so do you have a house to sell? So, you know what I mean? What's your timeline like? That sort of thing. Just asking them, are you from here? Just being way more casual. So when they feel like they connect with you, that's when relationships start and you have a better chance of converting them. Okay. And then back to the neighborhood preview. So it is a really good idea too to do a 30-minute VIP preview before the regular open house. And that's something else that you can use too when you're door knocking and talking to people and be like, hey, we just want to see, if you do have somebody moving to the area, or, you want to get some ideas on decorating, whatever, come by and check it out. Okay.
So you do the preview like a day before, or
30 minutes before the regular open house. Yeah. So if the open house is from 1 to 4, maybe do it from 12:30 to 1. Say it's the neighbors only.
Do you find more success door knocking the day before, or just the morning, right before the open house?
I've actually never done it the day before. When I have done door knocking, I always do it right before the open house.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I don't have anything to compare it to tell you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So you said like you do like 30 minutes before the actual open house. So you would door knock maybe around 12, like 12:30, and 12:30 to like 1 would be like the VIP showing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just do it beforehand. I know there are a lot of agents that do it the day before. And honestly, probably the evening before when people are at home is the best time to do it. Because most open houses are on Saturdays and Sundays, right? So people are already, if they're not going to be home, they've already planned their weekend. So they're out. So you might have better success if they can plan that VIP time into their day.
Yeah, more qualified prospects, you're saying, right?
What's that?
You're saying like they're more qualified, like they're more likely to actually show up and become
Right.
prospects.
Yeah.
It's less rushed. You're
Mhm.
not
Exactly.
You're like right now.
Yeah, because maybe they're like about to mow their grass or, So yeah, I would recommend doing it the evening before. Okay. And then with the lead capture. So I have done 2 different things, and I'm honestly thinking about going back to this lead capture. But lately, what I have been doing is this sign-in sheet, because I did do the computer thing and an iPad and all that, and I don't know. I go back and forth with it. Who uses digital sign-ins? No one? Does everybody use paper sign-in?
sign DBAs and stuff when they walk in the door?
No, I don't. So because you're
you do like an old slope. They walk in, you greet them.
yes,
You still do that,
yes,
like a normal.
Yeah. yeah.
They can see the house without signing. I don't make signs.
No, I no because I am working for the seller.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Come
You-
see it or don't, right?
yeah. So apparently, if you're representing the seller, you don't have to have them sign it.
Okay.
But double check with Brittany on that. Yes.
So I do the paper sign-in, but I also do a QR code for
Okay.
for them, so I can get it
that's a
either
good
way.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So I do like this, and I will say the biggest thing that I've changed on here, which I have seen an improvement in my results, is I added on here, if you are working with an agent, please write down their name. Because before, it only said, are you working with a real estate agent? Yes or no. Everybody put yes, right? So now, since I say, if you are, give me their name. So I've been able to weed through people way better with this one question.
Did they ask you why?
Actually, I changed mine to, have you signed a BBA with an agent?
That's a good one, too. Yep. Yeah.
Because they could be working, saying they're working.
Right. Yeah.
You still have enough in.
Yes. But I will find, like, just me personally, like, if I'm going to write somebody's name down, like, I would be worried, oh, what if they're going to contact them and find out, like, are you truly working with them, you know? So, but that's a great question, too. I like that. And then I like this because this has a survey of the home and allows somebody to write feedback for the sellers. So whenever I'm doing this and I send it to the sellers, I scan off these. I have a scanning app on my phone, and then I crop out this part with their contact info, and I just send the bottom portion to the seller or the listing agent so that I can provide that feedback to the listing agent. But I don't want to send over their contact info too. Okay? So I do that, but I've also done, and like I said, I'm thinking about going back to this because when I do that, then I have to input them into my CRM, which takes time. So I'm always trying to think of ways to speed up the process. So I've used Curb Hero before. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's a really cool app. It's free. Curb Hero, it's up here in parentheses, Curb Hero. And I do like that because you can put in the property information. You do have to upload the photos and then a description and kind of make like a mini, they call it a microsite. And then when somebody signs in with it, I'm going to pull it up on my phone real quick. But when somebody signs in with it, they immediately get a text message thanking them for coming to the open house and then with a link to the property information, which is pretty cool. And then I also get the leads directly to me. Okay, so let's see.
Sync right into your CRM after that.
You can. It does have that option, which is what I like because it's one less step, right? And then you can also put, there's different questions on here. So they only allow 3 questions. So when it signs in, my question is, who is your real estate agent? And then there's a text box, and they can put that there. And then, do you need to sell a property in order to purchase? Yes or no? And then, what do you think of the condition? Any suggestions? So this is where it allows some feedback too. Because I feel like if you're doing this, like you don't want to also do another feedback form, so we have to get feedback somehow. So just
Quick
do it
question.
like that.
Can you email us like the
Yes.
PowerPoint? That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. And this is being recorded too.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So, okay. And then you can also offer something of value for them signing in exchange for registration. And that QR code has a link to this. But this is a home loan toolkit. My staple did not go all the way through. So this is a home loan toolkit. And you can just Google it or get it from my presentation. But this is pretty cool, especially for first-time buyers or, I mean, honestly, anybody who hasn't bought in a long time. And it just gets a ton of information about the whole mortgage process and everything. Okay, so just provide something of value to them. Or you can offer to like a buyer's guide if you wanted to do that. Okay, any questions so far? No? All right, so mastering the event, it's not just a tour, it's an audition for the role of their next advisor. And that's pretty much what I touched on. Just building that relationship with them and connecting with them is just super important. Okay, so also just have some good questions to ask them instead of, and I do this with buyers too, when we go and look at properties, instead of saying, so what did you think? I say, out of 1 through 10, what would you rate this home? And you can't use a 7. On every house we do that on. And then I eliminate when I'm showing homes, then we eliminate and just do the top 3. But anyway, let's say that they say, oh, I would give it an 8. And then I say, what would make it a 10? Okay. So that's a good question. And honestly, like buyers love it. And they always laugh when I say you can't use a 7. And then the neighborhood pivot. So you can ask what brings you to this specific neighborhood. Are you looking for the school district or the commute? Just kind of digging in. And I also ask them too how they found the open house. I ask them that right when they walk in the door. I'm like, hey, I'm Tiffany Riley. Welcome to the open house. How'd you guys find it? And then they're like, oh, signs or Zillow and whatever. And then the insider offer. So I also tell them, and only if you do actually have this, if you know of some off-market properties. So you could ask them if they want to be notified when a home matches their criteria. And even if you don't have off-market properties, you could still just do regular properties that are on to see if it matches what they're looking for. Okay?
Could you ask them?
Yes.
If you, let's say you're building a rapport and you figure out what they're wanting them to get, and they act like they are pretty fiercely loyal to somebody. How do you pivot there when you're speaking to them?
I just let them talk, honestly. Okay. And as soon as I hear that they have a relationship with somebody and they're working with somebody, I'm just like, whatever, I mean, I'll be nice to them and talk to them, but I'm not going to go any further. Yeah.
So you have some really aggressive sales skills questions that I like. So, I mean, if you are confident just to do that shit, then just do it. So, some people just don't want to. Yeah. But I think the older generation, we're forced to just get out there and suck it up. So I love that. So, but I would suggest to you, if you're doing an open house and you want to make people sign paperwork, get them to sign a showing agreement. Bam.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Do you follow them or just read them and meet them at the same spot?
I don't follow them. I just let them go around. Yeah. Yep. So good question.
Do you usually just have like a quick spiel when they walk in? It's like, hey, look, hey. Just have a look around. That's kind of what I do. Just have a quick spiel.
Yeah.
And just have a look around, and that's kind of the same kind of approach.
Yeah. So I'll go through what I do. Yeah. So usually, all right. So somebody comes in. I'm like, hey, I'm Tiffany Riley. Thanks for coming to the open house. How'd you find it? And then, like I said, they tell me about blah blah blah, whatever. And I always have the MLS sheet and the list report sheet in my hand too, because I make copies of that. So I'm like, okay, if they say they found it on Zillow, I'm like, well, then you probably know a lot about the home, but here's some information. If they don't know anything about the home and they just say the signs or whatever, then I go over. I'm like, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, however many square feet, it's listed at this, the roof, age, all of that. And then I'm like, take a look around and let me know if you have any questions. Then when they come back, I say, so out of 1 through 10, can't use a 7, what would you guys rate this house?
I was training with I always like that one. I always forget to
that's where I learned it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
When do you give it to them? Right?
No, I do it towards the end. So after I've built rapport with them. So I'm like, okay, before you head out, if you don't mind signing in for me and providing some feedback for the sellers, it's super beneficial.
Majority of them agree?
I've never had anybody say no. If anything, if they don't want to do it, they just write their name and phone number and that's it. But usually I get people to fill out the entire thing.
Yeah, so in my experience, just emails, they write the wrong email, or it's just very hard to read.
Yeah.
This is very hard to read. Do you even bother emailing them? Because I just feel like that process, I don't use sign-in sheets anymore, but when I did, that I just realized that process just is kind of.
Yeah, so and that's one of the good things, and that's the reason why that I'm thinking about going back to the digital sign-in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, what does this say? I can't read it, right? So the digital sign-in kind of prevents that.
Yeah.
And I also recently used ChatGPT to help me with. I'm like, what does this say? And it spelled it out for me. I was like, all right.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Debbie.
So for my sign in, I will
And
for my sign in,
I have it on a clipboard, and I literally can use clipboard and tell them they can fill it out as they're going through the house, or they can do it at the end, so they always have to come back to me.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And I do have mine on clipboards too, which is, yeah, it's a good idea. I like that. And sometimes the open house is so busy too that it's just hard to keep up with everybody. And I forgot to add in here too, a lot of times I will have a lender with me. And honestly, that's mainly for security.
Yeah.
Security. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously super beneficial to have one there to answer any like mortgage questions or anything like that. And they like it because then I also share the leads with them too. But yeah, it's, you know, good security. So, okay. Now so staging is strategy. So this is super important. We want all lights on, even lamps, like every single light possible needs to be on. And then all of the blinds open, and soft music. Oh, I forgot my little speaker. I have this cute like little mini speaker, in fact, that a lender gave me. And I bring that to my open houses and I just play easy listening radio on Pandora through the speaker. Sometimes if I can put like something on the TV, then I do that with like the pretty background and the music. But you just want to have like a good vibe when they come in. And then neutral scent if needed. So even, especially with sellers too, I always say no plugins, no strong scents, because as soon as a buyer walks through the door, they think, what are they trying to mask? So if there is a little bit of an odor in there, sometimes I'll bring just like a lightly scented candle or something. But for the most part, just keep it super neutral and yeah. All right, and then a comfortable temperature too. Obviously, we don't want it super cold or super hot. And then this is one of my biggest pet peeves. Please close all the toilet seats, all the toilet lids. I hate when I walk into a house and like sellers have prepped it, they have all the blinds open and then the toilet seats are open. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, just close all of those and hide pet items too. Okay?
and pill bottles.
And what?
Pill bottles.
Yes. Yeah. So during the listing appointment, I always tell sellers to, if they have any guns in the home, they want to take those with them or lock them up. I prefer that they take them with them. Or also to medications, any valuables, anything like that too. We want those out of the home. Because like I said, sometimes open houses are super busy and I cannot keep an eye on everybody. So. All right, so the art of conversion. So the follow-up gap. Most people just end it at the open house or will follow up one time and just be done with it, right? So you need to do at least 5 follow-up contacts and 44% of agents give up after just 1. So I know everybody said that they have a CRM here. Do you guys have drip campaigns set up? No? No? Okay. All right. So that is something, and I am personally working on a new drip campaign for open houses because up until now, I typically just do it on my own or have my assistant do it. But we obviously do an automated thank you text with a property link. And before, I would just do it afterwards on my own. Like if they do the paper sign in, after the open house, I send them a text thanking them and sending them a link to the property. So you can do it that way. Or again, if you do the Curb Hero thing, it'll do it automatically for you too. And then 2 hours post, personalized email. So I usually do that like later that evening or even sometimes the next morning, especially if it's like a Sunday or whatever. We do it the Monday morning. Just thanking them for coming and specific neighborhood stats. Or you could just do like a link, and if they did talk to you about what they're looking for in a home or anything else, you can also just kind of reiterate that, okay, and just connect with them basically. And then I have not done this, but I have heard, in fact, my last broker was like a huge advocate for doing video text messaging, and I think it's awesome. I just have not taken the time to do it, but Sandy used to always I think it's a great idea. Just shooting a little clip saying, hey, it was so good to connect with you at the open house. You know, just let me know if you have any questions or whatever. And then send that as a text message to be more personalized. Okay, and then the Wednesday afterwards, a phone call to offer an off-market tour or just a follow-up to about, like I said, their criteria. If you did find something else that matches what they're looking for and you know that they're not working with another broker or realtor. Okay? And so, like I said, I am working on my open house drip campaigns. I think that's huge. My CRM that I use is the Wise Agent, and it has some automatic open house drip campaigns in it, but I don't really like them that much. I think that they could be like prettier and just draw buyers in a little bit better. So I'm currently working on tweaking that. In fact, I feel like I'm always tweaking everything in my business. So I might do like a follow-up, or I can just send that out to you guys too after we get it set up. But yeah, I would definitely work on drip campaigns for open houses. Okay, and you can probably even ChatGPT it, like plug it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT or whatever AI everybody's using these days. I know, what is it, Claude? Yeah. So, okay. Long-term conversion pillars. So I also, depending on how the conversation goes with the buyer, if they have a home to sell or, you know, like I always set them up in my CRM, they get put on the holiday drip, so they're definitely getting that. And then if they have a home to sell, I also put them into HomeBot, which is an automated valuation, which we spoke about a little bit ago. Okay. We did the personal video, neighborhood nurture. If this is your listing, you should be sending out the just sold postcards after it sells too. Does anybody do that? No? Okay, do you guys do just listed postcards? No? Okay. All right.
RSP, or what do you use it for?
I use Corfact.
Corfact?
Yeah. And it will automatically put your listings into it, so there's like very little work on your end. But that's what I use.
Like 100 people for $200.
Yeah, so for 100 people, I pay about $140 to $150 because I buy the addresses too. So I go in there and
all those people in your CRM?
No, not from the postcards. No, I just buy the list and then I send out the postcards. Yeah. All right. So, and then of course, Market Insider, be the source for unlisted inventory, which I'm super excited that John is setting that up for us with the off-market thing. I think that's going to be.
Have you seen that in the woods for you?
What?
Have you seen that in the woods?
Off-market?
Yeah, I mean, like, because you know that neighborhood.
Yes. Yes. So in fact, I actually recently put out a post on our Woods Facebook page saying that I was setting up an off-market like program. And because I do have a list of people that are like, oh yeah, I will eventually sell, or if you know somebody, you know, and then I also have buyers who only want to be in the woods. So I have that set up too. I have a spreadsheet of sellers and buyers for the woods.
A good friend of mine named Frank Pinto lives in there.
I know. Yeah.
The guy's like 6'8". You know?
Yep.
He's a big advocate. He's been in BNI for a decade.
Yeah.
And so I was telling him about the woods, and I was like, my friend does pretty good there. He said, "Is that Tiffany?" And I was like, I'm sure there's a lot of matchmaking where it's like, these people moving to here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well done.
Frank's a good guy. Thanks. Yeah. In fact, I walked into an open house in the woods that another agent was holding open, and I just wanted to see the house. And then on my way out, the buyers that were in there were like, hey, Tiffany Riley, you do a lot of business in here.
Awesome.
I was like, I had no idea who they were, but that was pretty awesome.
That's a full circle moment. That's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I thought it was a feather in your cap when I saw Frank, and he's like, yeah, Tiffany Riley dominates the woods. I'm like, Frank, I'm your guy. He's like, well, you have myself mine.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then first impressions matter, of course. We already went over all of that. So that was a lot faster than I expected. What questions do you guys have?
You said that you social release. Can you elaborate?
For Corfact?
What is that they find? Like email?
The addresses. No, so Corfact, you go to corfact.com, and this is just for just sold and just listed postcards or whatever you want to send out, right? If you're doing like farming to your neighborhood, like for me in the woods, if I'm doing farming to the woods, whatever, and I need to buy the whole neighborhood address, you can go in, you make your postcard, and then you click on like the lists and you buy one and you put in an address, and then it will do a radius around that address. And you can put in however many you want. And it'll ask you if you want condos, townhomes, if you want renters or owner occupied only. So there's different options that you can get. And let's say that it comes back with like 892 people within your radius. I'm like, I don't want to send out 892, but I want to send out 100. You just type in however many you want to send out, and then it'll just pull that amount of people.
And it's not limit, it's an actual card.
It's what?
It's a card.
Right, she's mailing
Yeah.
it to the door like snail mail.
That's like MMT. MMT is what I've been using. I'm surprised. And it's free,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. I don't want to have to go to two different places.
Mailing component to it, that's all.
But isn't MMT
Yeah.
that
I think they're all very similar, I think it's the
what
same.
is it?
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
The name of it, which I tried to send up.
Can you-
Didn't have for me.
Audit the list to where it's like people that are likely to sell in the next 5 to 7 years, does it go that?
Not on Corfact. I know that some programs do.
Okay.
Yeah, but not on Corfact. Yeah. Yeah, there definitely are some that do. Yeah.
I remember the one time I did a mailer and I went to like everybody that just bought. It was like,
Oh, no.
no one was buying their house, like it was the same guy bought like 10 townhouses.
Oh, no.
I'm not trying to focus on one specific prospect, but the last time I did open house versus this guy, we had a good conversation. Oh, it's fine. You know, we had a good conversation, but we did get in a conversation about how I did mention, I'm not kind of really just going to like consistently follow you up, follow you till you die. And he's like, no, it's great. He already liked me, all that kind of thing. He said that he's ready to buy in 2 months. Maybe I shouldn't have went with that approach of saying that I'm not going to, but yeah, I mean, like, what's your approaches with these follow-ups? Like, how are you, what's the best way you're seeing that you get conversion with?
Yeah, so I basically, like I said, I keep it pretty casual for the most part. I do follow up with them and just thank them for coming and all that. And then again, when I follow up the next time, I try to connect with them like with what we spoke about. So if they're looking for something, then I'm like, hey, here's some homes that I found. Are you interested in looking at these? Or, you know what I mean? Anything like that. If they're like, if they just ignore me, I keep following up. And I have one, in fact, that I thought for sure, like after I held this open house, I was like, yes, this is like a solid lead, you know, I thought it was in the bag, and crickets, you know. In fact, he replied to my first like 5 emails and then nothing. So I'm just like, okay, whatever.
So weird.
Sometimes you just, it is what it is. Yeah. But I mean, I would say just keep following up with them until they tell you not to.
Is there like a certain like text approach they've seen the most effective? Like, because with me, like whenever I'm getting like a PPC, like I just keep on checking like, okay, this approach works a little bit better. This approach, it's just kind of like, is there a exact script in your text or a phone call or whatever that
So
you
I'm
use?
not a super salesy person. So I do not stick to like super salesy scripts or anything like that. Because I
Not
know
salesy
you can.
script, but just like what you
I know.
use.
So like I said, I just keep things like super casual and really laid back. And like I said, like honestly, since doing that, I've connected with a lot more people, and they've just reached out just because they're comfortable with me.
Yeah.
So just trying to find things that maybe you're also interested in with them, like if you surf or whatever and they're surfers, or you know what I mean, like connecting with them on other things aside from real estate. That's really
good.
Does
it sound like a little bit BS? Like
it sounds like BS.
like I'm trying to connect with you about something, even though I don't actually care about you. But
see, that's the point. You got to care. You have to care.
I'm a Gator alum and I'll be a direct Sono fan.
No, but I mean, honestly, like I do care about my clients.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I know what you're saying, though.
What you do successfully. What do you do successfully? What you like to do
Successfully
in real estate?
in real estate, I think I'm better at the just finding sourcing off market opportunities for investors. I feel like that's the thing I've realized to invest with at this point. So yeah, I mean, obviously that doesn't really go. I'm just getting back into focusing on actual home buyers and sellers at this point. That's why I just because I just feel like I wasn't having as much success. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I don't. So it's a hard
Yeah, it's
question
different.
answer there. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a totally different vibe. So there's a lot of people that build their business on like cold leads and they're just numbers, right? They cold call all the time. They go after expireds and FISBOs. Very transactional. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
So, and this is my 11th year in the business, and I had a very slow start. It took me many years to get to where I'm at. But I will say, since I switched and became very client focused, started doing client appreciation events, started doing Lolo every month, and giving, and like showing them that I do care about you. This is a huge deal.
Yeah.
You know, buying a house is it's a big step, right?
Totally.
So since I've started
No, I
doing
agree,
that,
yeah.
my business has doubled.
No, I realize that too. When I'm not,
It's just
when I first joined, I learned all the sales tricks, was super salesy.
Yeah.
Once I just started being more laid back, I didn't convert really, but like I gained better responses out of people.
Don't you find
Yeah.
you're working with people you like too?
That too,
Yes.
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 Oh, for her, yes, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Navigate your relationships in your sphere of influence.
Yeah. And I will say, I know maybe you're not converting like right this second by doing that, but it will snowball. And
Yeah, I'm sure,
those
yeah.
people will start to refer people just because they like you. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's fair. I think that was all my questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tiff.
You're welcome.
I
Sorry,
think
it
it's
went a
hard
lot
sometimes
faster
also,
than.
it's like people don't respond to you, you know, and then you feel like they don't like you or something, you get all paranoid. But like, sometimes people call me for like months and months and months, and then I finally answer the phone, and I'm like, oh man, I'm glad that you continued to call me because I've just been so busy, I wasn't ready to whatever, but I'm like, I am ready today, you know? So it's like, I mean, just don't take it so personally. You know?
I text them like 3-4 times, and then I say, hey, this may be my last one. Call you, checking the last time if you're still interested. And then at that point, and like this might have reasons. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my husband broke his hip, and so we're trying to figure out what we want to do right now. Please keep in touch with us." So I was like, "Okay, yeah." Some people don't want to respond at that moment, but
they're busy. They're busy with life.
Yes.
And I will say another thing that I have found that converts, and not just with buyers and sellers, but also with agents who freaking do not get back to you with feedback. I send one of those little, what are they called, GIFs or whatever, and I'm like, the annoying ones that are like the wave. Like, hey, you know, so whenever you send a picture and being silly to me, like, then they're like, oh, so sorry, like, I totally meant to get back to you, you know, for whatever reason. I have found that converts better than just sending a regular text message with just words.
Okay, yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah. So, okay, any other questions?
I'm getting a lot of reviews from some guy in Georgia. I have no idea who he is. I have no idea if I've got my number. Why am I getting this?
Oh, you're getting Lolo gifts. Oh,
Thank you, man.
yeah,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Have a
Good
good
to see you. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
I tried to remember it, but it just came out.
Yeah.
And none of my customers talk to me.
Really?
I mean, you get the statistics.
So I'm going to tell you what I do to make it a little bit better. Because Lolo will send you an email saying, hey, you're about to get these gifts, like on whatever date. I send my CRM, whoever I have, I use a VIP list for my Lolo, and I send them an email and say, hey, get excited. It's that time of the month again. Like, you're about to get your new Lolo gift. I would love to see a photo of you with it, or tag me in social media or whatever, you know. So send that out a few days before the actual Lolo. And then they know, too, that it's not spam. They're kind of expecting it. And I even had somebody, when I sent that out, she's like, hey, for some reason, I'm not getting my Lolo gifts. I was like, oh, that's great. And then I looked into it and fixed it for her. But, yeah, that's what I would start doing. I would send out an email a few days before the actual Lolo goes out. And then you could also do one afterwards, too, and be like, hey, what did you think of it? Did you have a chance to go by there? Or you can do a meetup, too. Like, send it to yourself and say, hey, I'm going to be at this place on this day. Come and use your Lolo with me, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. All right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Valuable.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good.
Oh, one quick question, sorry.
Yes.
How many open house signs did you recommend? 20?
At least 20.
20.
Yeah. Yeah, and I brought these. Yes, I know it's a lot, but it works. So I have the directional, and then also the straight ones too. And then I do have another one that says you've arrived at the open house, and I use that sometimes, or I just use a directional at the house too, but also with my open house flags on the driveway. So you want a ton of signage.
They don't think it was like about the house. You can kind of see and get to it.
Especially on a rainy
If
day.
I had somebody do this for me, I would do it every single day. But that's
Yeah,
the worst part of it.
it definitely is.
You have to park somewhere. You have to.
Yep, I know. I hate it too. Yeah.
I'm just mad, man, when I'm putting up open house signs. I just park somewhere, put my car on yield, put down, just run around the whole freaking neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my car, for some reason, like shuts off when I stop, and I can't figure out how to change that. So I have to like restart it every time I get back in the car. It's such a pain in the butt. But and then I'm like, I get anxiety if like somebody's behind me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm trying to start my car. You know, it's like But, oh well.
Yeah, I
Haven't
get a lot
had
of
any
anxiety
issues
on the
yet.
side of the road.
You what?
I get a lot of anxiety on the side of the road.
Yes. Yeah. So awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys. Oh, one more thing I forgot to say too. So, like I said, I get a lot of business from open houses, but the key is doing them consistently. You have to do them consistently. And I know if I didn't have kids, I would do even more, but I try to do at least 3 a month. Sometimes I get busy and I slack. And then anytime I see my business starting to slow up, that's what I pick up is open houses. And then it starts going back up. So, yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.